Facebook thing warmed up and make sure that that's working.
Make sure that's warm and up.
It says fetching video stream.
Okay.
This can take a few seconds. So there's the stream. So if I click on go live, it makes this. Now, will it bring back the sound on me? I hope not. No, it won't. But you get to watch. Your job is to watch that stuff.
I'm supposed to watch something?
You got to watch Facebook chat because there might be a person that wants to speak. I don't know. Now, the funny thing is I do all this work and then I forget that, Dune, you have to start up, the radio streams because, radio. I know that's silly. And it goes through the Facebook. Oh, great. Facebook login not responding. There it goes. Whew. Okay. So technically, if I hit this bad boy like that, and then I smack the hell out of this, we go live. Just like that.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
Welcome, human. I am ready for you.
We show onboard computer synchronization.
Roger that.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Let's rock!
Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
That's the fact, Jack!
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Is this moron number one? Put moron number two on the phone.
Now, funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
I know that, dude.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Sure. Monkeys might fly out of my butt.
Uh-oh, my heart just stopped. Ah, there it goes.
Moving around. Started over there, and it went over there. And I'm over here, and you're over there.
I'm over there, and you're over there. And
that's cool. That's what happens on stereo. Now I know Facebook's on stereo. If it's not, you know what? Pretend. Move your fader back and forth.
Just look to your left and look to your right, and just go,
hey,
people will think
that's right
that you're hearing
they'll
stereo.
think that it may be Sunday, March 18th of the 2018. Hey, that's double 18s in there. Does that mean anything? Is there anything cool about that?
No, but unfortunately, I sold off my dollar bin copy of the Irish Rovers, so you have to settle for another Irish band.
Not to be confused with dogs that are from Ireland. Not those kind of rovers. Not those kind of rovers.
You're a parent who were from Ireland.
Yes.
And their one and only album was produced by Jimi Hendrix.
Now I'm looking at. Let me bring this up so you can actually see. Now, is that like a huge scratch on the front, or is that just a picture of a bird?
No. This cover has seen some better days.
Okay. So that's what I was curious about. So that's a big.
The record's fine.
Yeah, I thought maybe the two guys on the outside went, "Hey, f these other guys for putting a big mark right through their face because we got to do that."
Rip them.
Right.
There we go.
That's right.
But yes, produced by Jimi Hendrix.
There we go.
They're an Irish band that toured with the Monkees and Hendrix, and he produced their album for them. And happy St. Patrick's Day. Here's something Irish.
Belated, that's right. You know what's funny? Bourbon. Oh, bourbon. You're bourboning it. Well, I guess bourbon is
bourbon. It's St. Patty's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend.
I've got bourbon in the other room, but it's not.
What day is St. Patrick's Day, actually?
Well, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
It was the 17th. I think it's still I think it's always the 17th. I'm pretty sure. Unless they decide not to be the 17th. At some point,
someone says drink. You know,
is that what it is?
People say drink.
They just say, "Yo, have some drink." I like that.
Green beer happens,
right.
and you know.
Pinch somebody in the butt if they're not wearing green, and they say it's okay now.
Oh, that's right. It was yesterday.
You got to be careful about that whole pinching thing. I'm not sure how that works.
And
anymore.
I got to pinch Kristen's butt, and so yeah, it was St. Patrick's Day
when
yesterday.
you're married, I think that's part of the contract you sign. That till death do us part, and pinch my butt
on St. Patrick's Day.
Possible. Okay, now maybe your clause says that. And some people are more specific. Some people are more specific. Some people are more specific than others. I have to say, and that's okay. You can write your clause however you like. That's okay. But man, I tell you what, I was like, what are we going to talk about this week? Because I had some stuff lined up, and it was mainly about talking about Twitch and some other things. I've discovered some really weird things on Twitch. I know this is shocking to you. But I have
weird stuff on Twitch.
Yeah, I know this is just like crazy talk. But today I noticed like the F-bomb Express via Johnny was like on full alert today, and it was like, I mean, sometimes I got to get somebody that knows how to do it to write me a program to count Johnny's F-bombs. Because I think it would be just so fun if you could do and then be able to put it into a Google search, like I say, on this day Johnny F-bombed this many times. I think it would even shock you. I really do.
I have bad luck with hardware stores. I have bad luck with all stores. I have bad luck,
and you haven't even got the house yet. That's what gets me. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
I don't even
God!
have the house yet.
When Johnny gets the house, then how bad will Lowe's and Home Depot suck? There's no telling. There's just no telling. And by the way, for the people, I don't think Home Depot and Lowe's suck. I'm just telling you what Johnny may say at the moment.
Oh, okay, Dune. How good is your track record with finding what you're looking for when you go to a Lowe's or Home Depot?
Actually, really good, because I know what they got. So I'm going there to get what I know what they got. So that's kind of the difference for me. That's kind of the difference.
I once went to a Lowe's or a Home Depot. I think it was a Lowe's to buy screws.
See, this funny just writes itself, but I'm gonna let that just go.
Did Johnny find the right size, shape, and length screws he was looking for? No, he did not. But that was another story.
Hey, Warhawk says, "Are you on Twitch, Dune? iVlogs being shitty as usual." That would be a yes. Why, yes. And 9 others. Because 10 is the. By the way, 10 is the video count. 10 video streams for the Dune and Bob Show. Yeah, PTR. Boom. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
We've got. Not only do we.
Why do I say that? Because I like PTR guys. It's not like I'm not. I just.
No. They just, PTR guys are cool.
The thing is, they were on Facebook Live long before us, so this way I can make it sound like, whoa, the voices.
Here's the thing I got to say. I don't think it was me.
It must have been me. That was loud. Wow. I should turn that down.
But here's one thing we can count on.
Mm-hmm.
If the PTR guy, if one of us dies, the PTR guys will announce it.
Can you send me my Twitch link? Dude, are you kidding me?
www.letmegooglethatforyou.com.
Here. Go to the 5hit.com. There you go.
There we go.
That's where they all are. They're all listed right there.
Yeah.
Right there, my friends. And I'm going to turn off Facebook.
So let's talk about
Facebook Live.
Weekends. Weekends. Known as that period of time that is way too short in between the existence of your
those days. We only get to 2 days off like an animal. Those days,
right?
I got you.
This is not how. I don't think this was how man was supposed to live. I'm just saying. I don't think this is what God had in mind. Was, well, on the 7th day I rested, but you get 2 days of rest, and then you spend 5 days working for the man who gets, way more vacation time than you'll ever.
Absolutely, way more. Always way more. Okay, now he's gone. There's hey Warhawk, if you're still listening there, I put the link in the other room there. But yes, that's right. That's right. We need to get because if you did it the other way, if we worked for 5 days and then worked for 2 days,
2 days,
and then got the 5 off, we'd still be bitching. God, can you believe we have to work 2 days? Can you even believe that?
You know what? I promise you,
Here, somebody
I won't bitch about that.
Somebody wrote it. Who was this? It was me.
It was me. Yes, Steven wrote that in.
It was me.
So that means your thing's working, so I don't have to watch Steven.
Well, I think you might. No, I'm not going to leave this up. No, you're working, Johnny. This is a job for you. I told Johnny he had one job.
It's my weekend.
It's your weekend to work. That's what it is.
It's my weekend.
It's your weekend to work. You know what?
It's my weekend. I had
Monday through Friday. There's some place in Boston that owns you on the weekends. Dune. Just so you know that.
I'm doing you a favor just showing up here.
Oh, okay.
You're lucky I plugged in the microphone.
Yeah, I got to be careful because I don't want to have happen like what happened to the other guy that starts with A and his daddy.
The original contract,
where his other half, is like, hey, listen, I can stop coming over. It's real simple. It can be Sunday.
The original contract dictated that you send someone over to hook up the microphone. So
damn, that's right.
That's my one.
I don't
job.
I don't have my contact like I had when you were in California. I could send Mars over there. Hey, wouldn't that be great? Mars, come and plug Johnny's microphone. I would pay to have that happen.
And then Mars would call me up to ask me for a ride.
Yes, and then
I
just want to see Mars messing with your big old nest of wires over there and plugging stuff in. I think that would be awesome.
I'm trying to figure out how I want to set up the new place because I'm thinking, these records in this office restrict what I can do to set up my office. So I'm thinking my next place, I'm going to have we have 4 bedrooms. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking one room's going to be a storage room, and I'll put the records, the 8 tracks, the CDs, the DVDs, all that stuff. I'll put a bunch of shelves in this small bedroom, which someday I might turn into a bathroom. Because, Dune, what do you think would sell for more? 4 bedroom, 1 bath, or 3 bedroom, 2 bath?
Boy, you know what? That's a hard one to say because a lot of places are really key on the number of bedrooms, and it really depends on the people that are looking for it.
Well, let's say the 1 bathroom is on the first floor next to the kitchen.
I'm not saying that's optimal. I'm not. There's just something about now, for what people don't know what we're talking about. Johnny's looking at a place, and that's the way that happens to be at the starter home. That's the layout of it. That the bathroom is
1 bathroom, no plug outlets next to the kitchen.
Yes.
4 bedrooms upstairs, though. One of them is a small bedroom that I think would make a good bathroom someday.
Which probably would be the way to do it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking that might be a good.
I'm thinking that might have been at some point because why else would there be water pipes going from the basement to the upstairs? I just realized there's no sinks up there. What are these pipes doing?
Well, and here's the thing I never thought about. You do have that big attic area that could be turned into a bathroom. It could be
attic.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, you put some walls up. It covers up the charred wood. That's a great way to hide that.
You put the walls. You put the spray foam in there. You seal it up.
Yeah, but it's a ladder accessed attic, so I'd have to put stairs in.
There's no pleasing you, Johnny. You know what? I'll tell you this much: if you have to climb a ladder to go take a dump, you'll think twice before taking a dump. Now, I don't know what the positive outcome of that is, I haven't figured that out. I don't know what the positive side of that is.
Dude, if I build a bathroom in the attic, that means I have 2 options. 1, go down a flight of stairs to take a dump. 2, climb a ladder to take a dump, which means that little bathroom will never be used.
That's the point. I just don't know. It'd be the cleanest bathroom ever.
I could just set up a sign that says 2nd bathroom in the attic and not even build it, and everyone would think it's a 2-bathroom house. I never thought about this. Climb the ladder.
Oh, check it out. Here we go. RV toilet. Huh? There's a bathroom up there.
Driveway?
No. Upstairs. You just put the little porta potty thing upstairs in the third.
But no one's going to use it.
But it's there. You just said you could list it that way. You could say, hey, this is 2 bedroom.
This is like putting a sign up that says that there's a security system. They
got that thing called a half bath. You've heard of that. Yeah. They say we got 2.5 bathrooms, which means basically it's a bathroom that you can wash your hands and take a poop. That's it.
Yes.
I'll smack the shit out of you if you start
to. Not at the same time.
We are not even 15 minutes in, and you're already going wash on me.
You tweeted me.
I did.
What was with that?
I
wake up Saturday morning.
It was a test.
That was tracking my hours.
That was because Friday night I was bored. And I thought, let's just see what time Johnny gets up in the morning. So you're right.
I get up at 8 p.m.
8 a.m. you mean?
8 p.m.
Okay. Somewhere. Oh, I got you. But okay,
you gotta think about that.
There, I had to think that I wasn't really in the. Boom! There we go.
Yes, I wake up at 8 p.m.
You wake up at 8 p.m.
Take a shower. Because 8:30 p.m. is when we sit down and have a talk.
That's right. That's
spend time together.
That's when the phone calls start, and then you get told,
"Yeah,
you're a dumbass."
No, that's not what happens. That's not what happens.
Actually, that's exactly what happens.
Oh, was it? It was. Hey.
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
We hate it when that happens.
You ever take up child psychiatry as a hobby?
Well, especially from 10,000 miles away. That's awesome. I like that. Like
moving right along.
So
yes.
There we go.
I recommend finding better hobbies like modifying antique radios. Speaking of which,
yes. because we know this dude who knows a dude who has antique radios.
So as people have been listening know,
this dude right here.
This dude.
That dude.
I have a 1942 Zenith. It's one of those big things that go on the floor that you open up the front doors and there's a turntable that takes steel needles and plays 78s, and it gets in AM, it gets in shortwave. And one of the things that the guy that I had restore it could do was add he advertises adding Bluetooth capabilities because if you want to listen to old time radio shows on your antique radio and you don't live near an AM station that reruns old time radio shows, how are you going to listen to old time radio shows on your antique radio?
I am so glad that you said that reruns old time radio shows, because I really thought maybe Johnny had lost his freaking mind and thought this old radio only picks up old radio show stations. I was getting ready to go, ooh, I'm going to have to let him down easy on this one.
It's funny you should mention that, because the first restoration job he did for me, which was the tabletop RCA that I found in my great-grandparents' attic, I brought it home, I plugged it in, I turned on the radio, I fiddled the dial. Next thing I know, red skeleton. So, that one does pick up.
Now, is it skeleton or skeleton? Which one is that? Because
it's spelled like skeleton, but I don't know.
Because I heard skeleton one time. I think I called it skeleton, and I got told it was skeleton. But I'm also the same guy. I'm also the same guy that washes his clothes. So hey.
Yeah. All I know is I was flipping through channels and PBS was running some of his stuff, and he did a great impression of a piece of bacon in a frying pan. So humor's evolved a bit since those days.
That's true. Well, it's much more, let's say back then it was probably just as edgy, but a cleaner way of getting there, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
possibly. Possibly.
Frying bacon is pretty.
I think what it was,
controversial.
They were very good about getting around the censors back then. They figured out that they could just run over their heads and it wasn't a problem until later on somebody goes, "You realize what he's talking about, right?"
I think Lou Reed, Take a Walk on the Wild Side was something like that, because I mean, listen to that song and it's amazing that was a radio hit. I mean, it's
well, that's the way it is for me all the time, because I through history have been a bad person for listening to song lyrics. I just never did it. And it wasn't until later on somebody goes, "Did you even listen?" I go, I really don't. And then you go and listen to it, like, holy crap. That is what they're saying. Because I guess I was so bad at hearing lyrics wrong that I just assumed they were all wrong. It's like, no, that guy surely wasn't talking about that. But they just don't. It's not like different stuff today. I mean, where they just come out and say, hey, I'm going to go smoke some weed. They didn't just do that back then. They might do that now.
No,
but now they don't care.
Take a Walk on the Wild Side got radio airplay while touching on taboo topics such as transgendered, drugs, male prostitution, and oral sex.
Wow.
All in one song.
Wow.
And it was a radio
they
hit.
They went for the big four.
In 1972. Is that great or what?
Here's the thing. They can always say it's about something else. I think it's the way
Lou had no problem telling people what it was about.
But even back then, it's like because I could just see him in the radio station says, "So what's this song about?" Well, me and some boys got together. Then just went down.
It's one of those cases where Lou writes a song, the producer produces the song, and someone that works for the label goes, "I think that has commercial potential," and that's the guy who it was like. Had no clue what the song was about, just thought it sounded radio friendly, and next thing you know, about transgendered giving head, it's on the radio.
Sure, won that. There's Warhawk. I was looking for Walk. Hang on a second.
But let's talk about hardware stores.
Oh, now where else can you go from transgender to hardware stores? 2.1 seconds. Right here.
Well, I was at the transgender. I was at the hardware store.
Okay.
I did not see transgendered, but I wasn't looking.
For all I know, you weren't looking. But hey, you know what? That's the good part about it. They could be there and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
exactly.
So anyway, we're at the transgender hardware store. No, wait, we're at the hardware store.
Well, go back. Actually, we need to backtrack because I was talking about the
big
radio.
box store. Yeah, you're fixing the radio. You're fixing the radio.
The guy who does the radios offers a Bluetooth option, and I asked him about it, and he's like, "Well, what I do is I add an audio input, and in your case, it's real easy because you can kind of split the turntable input, and I just have to drill a few holes in the back. It's in the back. You don't see it, and then I also sell a Bluetooth receiver that you can hook up to the analog input that I put in the back." And I'm like, oh, that's all you do? I could do that. I thought like he actually added a internal Bluetooth module that was powered off of it, and so he had like a little flashing light on the back and synced up. But no, he just has an audio input. It's like, I could do that. I'm already paying you $700. I don't need to add another 50 to this thing.
That's right. Now you've already given me your secrets. Boom, done.
Boom.
That's
done.
Right. That's right.
So,
not stealing, by the way, borrowed.
So borrowing the idea.
Yes.
So I looked at, I took the back off of the Zenith, and I see that, there's a few wires that are coming off of it. I mean, there's a tube amplifier, radio tuner in the top compartment that's attached to the front dials and everything. And there's some wires that go down the side, and on the bottom of the cabinet, you got the big speaker. So, of course, there are wires that are coming out of the amplifier to the speaker. In the middle compartment, you got the turntable. So there's power wires that are going to the motor underneath the turntable platter. And then there's wires that go up and into the tone arm. And I'm like, well, there you go. There's a pair of wires. And that's actually, it's one wire that's a bundled pair. And one of them actually screws right into the chassis of the amplifier. Okay, that's my common ground. And the other one goes into this, little hole that goes into there. All right, that's my line input. So all I need to do is take that wire, snip that wire, take the part that's coming out of the tube amp into a toggle switch. One end of the toggle switch goes to the end of the wire that's coming out of the tone arm, and then when the toggle switch is switched that way, tone arm works. And take the other end of the switch. The other end of the switch.
This sounds totally easy. Switches, solder, boom, boom, done.
Connected to a pair of RCA connectors, a few holes, screw the toggle switch in, screw the RCA connectors in there, a wire that connects the pins of the RCA connectors together, because basically that way it's a stereo input that combines the mono, so I can hook up stereo equipment to my mono radio and just have it automatically mono sum, and just hook up all my grounds to that screw to the chassis, and boom, 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 put it back together, and we'd be done. And speaking of being done, we got Skype ringing right now.
Speaking of being done, yeah, this could go several different ways.
That's what she said.
If it actually picks up, we'll see.
And speaking of tire fires, we've got the Gimp on the line.
Yes, there we go.
How the heck have you been, man?
What's going on, dude?
Oh my God, I have not listened to NHP in months, and I see guys. Oh, there we go. Why don't I turn my? Should I turn my video on?
Well, if you don't think that the picture on the screen does it justice, why not?
Speaking of things that you haven't listened to in months, I think Dune has a question for you.
Yes. Have you listened to the Dune and Bob? The Dune show that you do before?
Do you even know? You know what? I'm going to cut you some slack. If you can If you can even give me the name of the show, I'm going to cut you some slack today.
It's the Dune Experience.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
Johnny?
It's been months since we've heard from the Gimp. Let's ask him 3 questions or so, and then we'll... You're lucky I'm feeling in a good mood right now, Gimp. And there's one reason I'm in a good mood.
Gimp. I
mean...
And
it's got ice floating in it.
My God.
So... I don't think I've ever shown
you my goddamn 5-hit!
It's a goddamn 5-hit. Oh my God.
Wait, did I just...
So...
Hang on.
So how are things in Bucksport?
It's a 5-hit with Dune.
Oh my God. So
Saturdays.
Big news.
10 p.m.
What's the big news?
Well, we got a salmon farm coming to Bucksport to the former site of the mill. So
sorry for that burst, by the way.
We're going to have a raised salmon farm coming to Bucksport.
Raised salmon farm. Okay.
So that's going to provide 200 jobs. So Bucksport's going to be on the map.
And if you can't afford lobster, you can have salmon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of lobster, there's greenhead lobster coming to Bucksport as well. Also a mussel farm.
Those damn beanheads. I don't know.
Steve,
I didn't just go racist on somebody, did I?
Steve, have you ever had a garage sale or a yard sale, you or your family?
Yes.
Have you ever sold something? That is a thing. That is a thing that's absolutely happened. Yeah, Gothard's friends of the family were having a yard sale. Actually, it was at the house next door to the trailer, and they were selling some things. And this one guy who's a lobsterman was looking at something, and they're haggling a price. And he's like, "Well, how about I give you this much?" And 5 lobsters, and that's how they had a lovely lobster dinner. And
this, I had no idea this was a thing. I really didn't. I really did not know.
Next time I have
now, listen. If you're in Wichita, Kansas, and somebody tries to make that deal with you, immediate red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediate red flag. There's just, there ain't no lobster coming to dinner in Wichita, Kansas. I mean,
has anyone ever bought something from you at a yard sale in exchange for a bundle of wheat?
No, it's always been cash. But you know what? I guess
bullets.
Well, now see, now you're talking my language there. Now you're talking my language. That would be
might be some legal issues there.
Could be, yeah, there could be. But yeah, the whole bundle of wheat thing, I would have to almost entertain that just for the fact that it was nice of them to throw that out there.
Some their local crop,
Absolutely.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever been to the Friars Bakehouse in Bangor? I don't know if you've ever been there before or not, but
Friars Bakehouse. No, I'm not. I've been to Mama Baldacci's. That's up in Bangor.
But
Mama Baldacci's. Hey, did I just do that wrong?
I don't know.
That was yeah.
No.
We're gonna have the Friars Brew House tap room here in downtown Bucksport. So,
nice.
These Friars make their own beer. Okay, and they'll have a selection of sandwiches and awesome delicacies that I've never seen before. And I've looked in the window, and it's a beautiful place, dude. It used to be the tanning salon here in town, and now it's going to be a tap room. It's going to have restaurant, and then we got a brand new place opening up soon. That's a bar, lounge, and a family restaurant, all in one building. And it's Bucksport's on the way, man. It's going to be the new Belfast. So you look up Bucksport Salmon Farm in Google, okay?
Bucksport Salmon Farm, okay.
Wait till you see this place. It's going to be a $250 million investment in the town. I kid you not. This is a beautiful building.
Okay. Well, I've got nothing more here. So, Dune, if you want to ask any follow-up questions.
No, I just realized that my Cox may be having issues or something. I'm getting a yellow stream. Oh, my God.
Wait,
something's
if
wrong.
your Cox is having problem, then I hope there's a medicine to clear that out.
There is. It's called... have you heard of
the
it?
Big Red Button.
That's what she said.
Why don't we try that cure out, dude?
Yeah, we should try that cure and see if that works, because sometimes that cure doesn't work. It doesn't always work.
Hey, thank you for calling.
Thank you. There we go. It worked, John.
Let's see if that clears it up.
Let's see if that clears it up. That would be. I may have to turn Skype off on here, and I'd hate to have to not use Skype today, but
well,
I guess Johnny has Skype.
I have Skype.
You know what I'm going to do?
I do have Skype.
I told him what I'm going to do. I am going to quit my Skype and see if that does any justice to the system. God, I really thought I bought enough computer this time. I really did.
Well, it's I don't know.
And I mean, I just did a stream or a damn DSL check, and everything is never mind. Well,
okay. Why is Skype acting like it's never been used before?
Because you just never know.
So now I need to figure out if.
Let me get back here. There, go ahead.
That's my test.
Okay.
Okay, that's coming out where I want it to come. All right. So yeah, Skype is up, but Dune might not be able to hear you. But that's okay. You can talk to me.
No, I can hear. I can hear you. So you can hear me.
Oh, you're a little garbled.
But I can't hear whoever's on Skype. I'm garbled?
You're a little. You got that, kind of.
It's going to a restream service, Johnny. I just don't know why you have to bust my balls on this. I just don't understand it.
Maybe we need to add more video streams.
We do. It's not. It could be not enough. Because I'm noticing on Facebook right now how lagged everything is. It's like lag city. Holy smokers.
Are we on Hulu yet?
Yeah. Don't tease me, Johnny. Don't you tease me. Here, I'm going to do speed test again.
I would like to thank Hulu for dropping General Hospital, because that's going to save me $7 a month.
Is that what it is? Here, I'm going to do a speed test here. We'll see, because I got 10 millisecond ping, which that's pretty good ping. Okay. I'm with all the crap going on, I'm still getting almost 500 down, so that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm. That's not a problem.
That's not a problem, even though this thing over here is still going flash, flash, flash. Come on, upload anytime now. And with all that, okay, now this one says I'm getting 12 and 13 megs up while I'm still streaming.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well,
that would be, I don't know.
Well, let's go back to the story about my radio. So that was
the plan. We'll just see what happens.
So,
it'll either fix itself or
a while ago, so, the first thing you do is, well, do I need to leave my apartment? Because I hate leaving my apartment on the weekend if I can avoid it, because, that's time, gas money, and, plus there's people outside. And you got to deal with that.
And those damn left turns. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's right. Can
we talk about traffic patterns?
People in left turns. Well, listen, poor Johnny. People in left turns. We just hate this stuff.
Someone designed something still in the parking area, but when you get to the busy highway, it's a stop sign.
Ooh, I like that.
Figure that one out.
That's a feature.
That's a feature
what
called.
That is.
That's a feature called, let's make a traffic signal that's got traffic backed up from the stop sign so that even though the light's green, you can't get through it.
Ah, there we go.
Why don't we put the stop sign here and the traffic switch?
So you get to do the next 5 radios for free. That's perfect.
Well, right. And then I need a pair of RCA connectors. Well, I bought RCA connectors from Fry's when I wanted to modify a 8-track deck into a tape head preamp, and I'm no longer using that for that purpose because of the reel-to-reel thing. And it's like, well, I could grab that thing, rip those RCA connections out of there, desolder the wires off of there, RCA connectors. Oh my God. So I do that. And of course, being that Gator's idea of soldering is the more solder you put on there, the better the connection is.
Well, of course. I think that's the way it works, isn't it?
That's
it doesn't in the Gator's household. It works that way.
I'm beginning to learn that's not how it works. I've been watching more Ben Heck videos, and he makes it look so easy, and I hate him for it.
There you go.
Why do you make that look so easy? Your videos are a lie. It's not that easy. So, anyways, I take the RCA connectors. I get my red hot soldering iron. Well, it's not really red hot, but it's a hot soldering iron, and I'm melting the solder, pulling the wires off. Using my little pliers to kind of pull bits of wire out, and then I'm trying to make it so that it has a hole again that I could put the new wire through. And I'm like, you know what? This is a lot of solder that's getting off of this connection. And sure enough, the solder is dripping off of the contact for the pin. Beep. Which means that that's not going to work because basically the RCA connectors are shorted out from all the solder that's on them. Okay. Well, here's one thing I've learned from watching Ben Heck. There's this thing called a soldering wick that's so much easier than spending the next 20 minutes dicking around with trying to clean hot solder off of a connection without burning my fingers. Because at some point,
it's like we will have no dicking here, is what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Speaking of conducting heat, we got
work.
Well, yes. Well, and
resistance is futile.
Resistance is totally futile. So there we go. I've fired the streams back up.
Remember when we just connected to audio streams?
Remember those days?
It
was so much easier, but then again, it was too easy. It was just too easy.
It was just audio streams. Damon wasn't bitching about Stickcam. Damon wasn't bitching about YouTube. Damon was bitching about everything else instead.
He was bitching about everything except audio streams.
Yes, except video streams.
There we go.
He was bitching about co-hosts and people. Oh my God. I just realized why people like the video streams, because it distracted Damon away from bitching about people.
Well, I never thought about that. That works.
It's like, yeah, he's just bitching about the streams. He's not bitching about us. He's not making us do promos. He's just bitching about the video streams. Oh my God, that was genius. I never realized how genius that was. He
was like, no video, no.
No.
And that's the sad thing. It's funny how everything has that same kind of story, because you get that story. It's like the Kodak company, the Kodak film company. The people there, or whoever the heck head gaucho was there. He's
digital cameras.
Yeah, who wants that shit? Nobody wants. You want.
Why would you use that when you have film?
Yeah, why would you use that? And of course, where's Kodak?
The
today?
vibrant colors of film.
That's right. It's just funny how that works, and sadly, Damon was kind of the same way. What video? Yeah. No, that's stupid. Nobody wants that. There we go. Warhawk, you still with us?
Yeah, I just was able to access iVlog.
Yeah, I think it's actually working now. It doesn't seem. I'm sure we've lost.
You're still a little Borgish, though.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I think
understandable.
I think we've lost. We probably lost the. Well, no, we didn't. Now it's back to flashing yellow again. Oh, I just hate you so much. And here's the thing. No, last night was perfect, but it has been. Last night, I had no problems last night. Here's the thing. There's something that happens on Sundays that my bandwidth just goes to complete inconsistent crap. And I don't know. And of course, what do you do? I can't call Cox. Oh, you're
wait. Hey, Johnny, what's that sound effect that sounds like?
The J squared robot jerking off.
Oh, Dune almost sounded like that just a moment ago.
Did I just go J squared on you? But the whole thing is, I can't, when I call Cox and complain about it, they're just like, well, it's working fine now. That's the whole thing. How do you convince them? You don't.
That it's not working
fine. It's not working fine. And then, well, according to this, I don't give a... I'm to the point now, it's like, is it my stuff?
Send someone out here to live with me for a week.
Is it my equipment? Do I need to, drop the cash and get a new router? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer or not. I'm using pretty old shit stuff. Sorry. So maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know. I just don't know.
You need to upgrade from 2 cans and a string, dude.
Well, here's the sad thing. I don't want to say this too loud because Johnny will hear me. But I'm using Alpha router, and And
okay.
Apple hasn't made routers for about 10 years now.
Aflac router?
Yeah.
The big loud duck?
the big duck. So I guess that's the next thing is what should I use for a router? I don't even know. Because obviously this is not working for me. This is not working. But here's the thing. My whole house infrastructure is set with Apple. I have Apple everything. And it's like, oh God, I don't know if I want to go through this to change everything out. Because I mean, I guess what I'd probably do, I could go hang out on, on the Leo Laporte show and find out what they're suggesting, because I know there's
Twit.
Yeah, Twit TV, because there's better stuff out there. I know there is. I just don't know what to go with.
I'm just waiting for them to come out with a show called This Week in Asian Tech, but I don't know if they're going to.
I don't know if that's politically correct. I don't know if we want to do. Now, you know what? If you want to start a show called This Week in Hot Asian Chicks, okay, we'll try this without.
And now the J squared robot whacking off. Whoa, I'm so horny. Whoa, 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 whoa.
There we go.
Done. Whoa.
Okay, we are now Facebookless.
And now the J squared robot.
Wow.
You got on the pretzel promo mode now?
No. Well, every time I put on the do, I had to set it to loop because it's just a 1 second sound. So then every time I play something else, I forget that I have the loop on.
Oh, and it just keeps on.
Right.
Keeps on.
Yeah, because this is just basically Liam made a song called made a game called Beat the Meat that includes all the sound effects.
I miss Liam so much. I just want to...
and one of the sound effects is this one, which is actually labeled Clowny Bulb Horn, is what it is.
Clowny Bulb Horn. I like that's interesting.
Liam is very good at repurposing sound effects for something that was not their intended use. Because I don't think the person that made the sound effect was thinking robot playing with his square winky.
Yes, I did not. I'm guessing you're correct. That is probably not.
Yeah,
what that person was thinking. Probably not.
No. But back to my story. So, right, easy peasy job, and I have the toggle switch, and I have RCA connectors that were in use, and when I clean the solder off of them, it makes solder connect things together to short it out. And I had seen Ben Heck use something called a soldering wick when he's repurposing parts or desoldering things, which he puts the soldering iron on, solder melts, he puts the wick up to there, boom, solder sucked right off. I'm like, oh my God, that looks so easy. So much easier than what I had been doing, which is trying to kind of get it to stick to iron, but solder sticks to wire and kind of move it around. You can try to get some of it off. You can get bits of it here and there. And it's like, no, let's get the right tools for the job. Now, I bought the soldering iron from Lowe's. So Lowe's sells soldering iron. They sell blow torches. They sell gas for the blow torches. Mm-hmm. They sell soldering iron kits. They sell solder. And so why wouldn't they have desoldering stuff along with this? I drive out to Lowe's, no desoldering stuff. And I figure, well, while I'm out, I might as well get brand new RCA connectors rather than trying to, fix out the shorts on these. Because if I can't fix them, brand new pair, I mean, what, $1, $2? I mean, well, you could buy HDMI connections. You could buy HDMI wall plates. And you could still buy anything and everything coaxial. And you could buy RCA cables. But you could not buy RCA You could buy speaker connectors on a faceplate that look kind of like RCA connectors, but aren't. And, yeah, so...
There we go. That's right. There's like this psycho. It's like it is, but it isn't. That's always fun.
It's like, oh, so no desoldering wick. No desoldering bulb to suck up the solder. Like that thing like you put up your nose to get the boogers. They make a version of that like for solder. No, none of these things. They sell soldering irons, kits, blow torches, but no desoldering wick or desoldering bulb. And I'm just like, what? I mean, that's a pretty basic thing. You'd think that's the type of thing you can run out to a store and pick up. And I go to Harbor Freight, and they got every kind of tool you can think of, but no desoldering equipment there. I go to Home Depot, they don't have it there. Now here's one thing: at the Lowe's, I'm standing there looking at all the HDMI connectors and the coaxial connectors and fiber optic cable. When's the last time you hooked up a fiber optic cable in anything?
Oh, I don't think I'd even want to think about that.
No,
that's true.
That's all. Yeah. And I hear drip. And I turn around, and there's a bucket catching water that's dripping from the ceiling. And my
was
thought
it a Lowe's bucket?
I don't know, but I'm thinking that if the hardware store can't fix their leaky roof, you might be at the wrong hardware store. I'm just saying, What, is the manager out there buying equipment and parts to fix the leaky roof? Is that what's going on? We'll put a bucket here while we run out and grab a scaffolding or something. You realize you're a hardware store, right? I mean, you're the place people go to fix things like this. They got a bucket out there. Now, obviously, it's another team or someone that had to come out, get on the roof and fix that. But I just thought that was funny.
Well, no, it is funny because it's one of those things. You had one job to have soldering equipment, and you failed that.
Yeah.
So job number 2 is to not have a roof that leaks.
So I basically.
Hey, Warhawk has a good point. Where the soldering begins. Boom. Solder warehouse. That could be
solder warehouse.
Open on Sundays, by the way.
Begins.
Open on Sunday.
But these tools are where the soldering ends because you're desoldering. Okay. So I got the beginning part. I got the beginning. I need the end.
Oh, I got you. So you need the other part of that.
I need the reverse of that. The opposite of beginning soldering. I'm ending soldering. I'm taking the solder. So, anyways, ended up doing was I ended up grabbing some spare wire I had and stripping a bunch of it and just scraping the wire along the melted solder to because the solder was sticking to the wire, and that was kind of wiping it off, so that I managed to clean up my RCA connectors enough to use them, and that was fine, and so yeah, I gotta tell you though, old time wires, not fun to work with. So the wire that runs from the tube amp into the tone arm of the turntable.
Well, it's a totally different solder in those things too, by the way.
Well, yeah. I noticed that that's the other thing is that because the ground wire was connected to a soldering was soldered to this connection, and I needed to redo the wire on that. And when I melted the old solder, I noticed, well, that smells different. And then I remembered that most solder that you buy now advertises as being lead free, and I'm like, well, that's the smell of poison. So yeah. So, yeah, I think I released some lead into the air in this apartment. But it was only a little bit.
Just a little bit. Hey, what's a little lead between friends? Well, that sounds like something you say in the hood, wouldn't it? Isn't it? It's like, yo, let me get a pull off of that. Boom, yeah, totally different kind
of. What's a little lead between friends?
All right, guys, I'm going to go back listening.
All right, thanks for calling.
There we go. All right, man, take care.
See you.
Why do I say that? Hey, Warhawk's leaving. That's kind of harsh. Warhawk.
I don't know.
It's funny. You're buying a house. He's selling a house. So there you go.
He's selling a house. I'm buying a house. Yeah, and that's moving forward. And I'll have all the updates for that tomorrow. But yeah, things are moving forward. Only one small problem. It's time to pay the second deposit. And when I paid for the house inspection, I ripped off the last check in my checkbook. Somewhere in this apartment is a refill for checks.
Or is there?
Well,
is it upstairs right now next to the bowling alley? Possibly.
No, it's not there. At some point,
let's hope not.
Here's the thing. I was actually thinking long and hard about it while talking to Emily one evening, and I realized for some reason I remember packing checkbooks in with wherever I threw a bunch of stuff that included the watch that I got as a graduation gift from college from my grandmother that I never wore, because by the time I found a jeweler to take out a link to put the have the wristband fit properly, the battery was dead, and that jewelry didn't have the right tool to get the battery compartment opened. And now no one wears watches. So, but I was like, if I find the watch, I find the checks. Well,
really?
That doesn't count.
Okay.
That's just that's a computer on your wrist.
That's
dude.
a computer. That's a watch that goes buzz. That's what that is.
That's not a watch.
The
That's a
buzz
computer
watch. Good stuff.
I'm talking about a real watch. You know, the type of thing that has things that move around in circles.
Yes.
And springs and ticks.
Oh, I got you. Oh, you're talking like one you have to wind up like an animal. One of those things.
Well, it's got a battery, but, you know, same principle.
Yeah, Warhawk says he's going to listen on iTunes. The lag's killing. You know what? It figures, too, we just got featured, and it's just going, don't adjust your audio. That's me. Or unless it really sounds like that. Yes, it's very bad.
Dune's just playing with something square.
Yeah.
And, anyways, so I did manage to, but old time wires in antique radios. Yeah, you know, you get a new wire, you get a wire stripper, and you go, and you strip the wire. These old time wires, they got fabric around them.
Yes, they do. No, you do not. You either burn it off or cut it away, one or the other.
Yeah, and I did manage to make this work, but the interesting thing is that this wire had a layer of fabric, and then a layer of braided wire that was the ground, and then another layer of fabric, and then the thin wire inside. So I had to, you know, kind of peel back the braided wire, and then strip off the smaller fabric and solder a piece of normal wire to the end of that, and then also solder a piece of wire around the braided wire that it was for the ground. You know, but I managed to get that all together, and so now I actually have a pair of RCA connections and a toggle switch mounted to the back of my 1942 antique Zenith radio, so that I could switch it to phone on the front, flip the switch on the back, and like listen to my, you know, MP3s on my Zune on the radio. You know, one obsolete thing connected to another obsolete
What could
thing.
go wrong?
I think it works out pretty good.
What could go wrong? That's exactly it. I like that. That works out. That works.
Yeah. Now it is, I gotta say that I guess the level of the old time turntables is a little loud, because I did notice that the signal going into the RCA connections was quiet, and I had to turn the volume knob up quite a bit to get standard listening level. But I don't think that's something that I'm easily gonna fix. I mean, this was kind of, now the other thing I got that I can also use that has its own advantages and disadvantages is I actually bought an AM transmitter.
Those are cool. I'd like to try. Hey, listen, for the people out there, listen, I tell you what, I'm done with the video.